Okay, so we see in creating dashboards in Excel from a data set, it is ideal to use, I mean, pivot tables and then charts and all. I saw a lot of submissions and I was very impressed. And I see people even went beyond the class to watch, check out other videos where they were able to upskill further on this. That was good thinking. For the rest of the sessions, we'll be for the next classes from now, we'll just work towards getting to visualize our data. An aspect of data analytics called data visualization. Basically, summarize the data, visualize it for sharing of insights and findings, rather than have stuff all bulked up. Everything visualizations, data visualizations. Data visualization is a way of just making it easy, making your insights easily communicated, easy to accumulate, and yeah. So we looked into this data, sales data set too, yeah, in the last class, and I shared this data set with everybody via email. I also posted a copy on the WhatsApp group. I hope we all have access to it. We'll be working with them today. So there was an assignment to get insights from these data sets last week. All right. There was the other one for sales data set one, where we had to do a count of something something per region, number of orders per region, which I don't think anybody failed from the submissions that came in. You all did well. Just by way of a recap, we had said in visualizing data, you or making sense out of data, you need to understand the context. You need to understand, first of all, you need to know what your stakeholders demand. What is your boss demanding of you? What are the stakeholders you're working for demanding of you, right? So you get that information by asking, what insights do you want from here? Now, there are other cases where, like I said, as a data analyst, by default, when you see data, you should be able to contextualize it and make sense out of it. Okay? Because that's the only way you can even understand when your bosses or stakeholders request for particular insights from the data. I mean, for you to have an understanding of it, only then can you also be able to meet their demands. All right. So um, it's very important to put things in context. I have three data sets here. I have one for sales data, the one we worked on, used for assignments last week. I have one on US voters, right? And there is this on some HR data and salaries. Okay, so we're going to just see how much you can do today and so on. Right. I'm starting from the assignments we did. Now I'll just give some general feedback on the submissions so far. I saw a lot of them. I saw a lot of submissions, some really nice submissions, good visuals. I also saw I also saw Let me see if I can. Okay, one of the observations rather was that okay, there were a whole lot of charts and everything, but they were not giving much insights, right? Some of them just had data, good insights, right, or good um, data sets, but they were not properly, like they were not giving any insight or much insights. So um, yeah, I also saw some aesthetics which were cool, but sometimes too much color. Then I saw some slicers, and let me see if I can share my screen. Okay, so some slicers when when like just so like not everything has to be on slicers. I mean, sales. The beauty of this is that it showed that people could use slicers, right? People could use different tools here, but um, for you also want to make data simple and fun and easy to grasp. So if stuff are all bulky and busy and all that, it may be hard to pass the message across. I also want to commend a lot of people who used color very beautifully. Yes, I saw a lot of beautiful colors and I'm like, oh, this saves me a lot of work. But yeah, so in general, good job everybody. Yes. So all we'll be doing for the next three classes, this inclusive, would be just creating our dashboards with different data sets. Okay, so we'll just start with this. Um, any questions, any comments so far before we get into this? None. Okay, you could always use the leave a hand option. Don't forget it if at any point you get stuck. Now, I'm just going to run this through for each of them and let's follow up. Okay, so this is our sales data set. So for those that joined after I mentioned, emails were sent on this data set today, and it was also dropped on the WhatsApp group. Okay. Um, let's see. Okay, so we all know how to create pivots, right? I have this data. I'll try to do this. So insert pivots to new sheets, and I just do an OK here, and maybe I move this here. I'll call this sales data pivot. Okay, here we go. We have order number, we have quantity ordered. I'll just go through the data sets. The number, quantity ordered, the price, order line, sales, and all that. We have the year, we have product line, and all. So first thing I'd want to do, let me see, product line. The product line would be good insight. Right? Remember, you're looking for the best insight, like things we could work with. So product line, we're looking at the quantity ordered, right? And I can keep this as an insight. Product quantity, quantity ordered. It's yeah, should know it exists. Okay, I'm zooming. Please feel free to. Okay, I know most of us have done this already, but if you haven't, you could tag along and do it yourself, not just observing, right? I just do a few and then try out some. I'm creating a dashboard with it, right? Okay, um, let me copy this and paste. And instead of quantity order this time, add one to the sales. So I'll format currency dollars. Okay, so let me sort this from largest to smallest, sort from largest to smallest. Okay, so clearly we can see the highest amount. Now let's try out something. So I want to insert a slicer. We also saw how to insert sliders, right? So for sliders, you just go to clicking on any of the pivot tables. You go to pivot table analyze and insert slicer. The first slicer I want to work with is the year ID. Okay, so this shows the years, right? And I clicked on this particular pivot when I was creating the slicer, so it's just gonna affect. So for 20, this is the sales for 2003, 2004, 2005. Okay. Now, if I want to link these two pivots together to this slicer, so that once I click, it changes for both of them. I just click on the slicer, right click, and go to report connections. Basically, you want to connect these two reports together, and I check the two and click on OK. And we see both of them changing at the same time. Okay. So here we have the quantity ordered, we have the sales. Now let's see the customers who placed orders. We want to see who our customers are. So I copy and paste. And then I said our top customers in most businesses in sales. Top customers are known by how much they've invested into the company. That means how much they've bought, right? So I come to sales and sort from largest to smallest, And oh, there's a whole long list of customers. We don't want to see all this, right? We want our top customers. Yes, we could see the bottom customer, like whatsoever you want, right? But okay, so remember how to filter. Okay, I'll change this to customers. So on the customer name list, right click, go to filter, top 10, and we have this box pop up. Show top 10, could also do bottom 10, refresh top 10 items. Yeah, sort by the sales. So here we have the top 10 customers. Okay, it's based on their sales. So we see that Euro shopping channel was the topmost client. Now let's connect this. Okay, I want to do something right now. Um, so okay, before then, I want to connect. We're going to connect this pivot. We're going to connect this pivot to the others. Sorry, this slider to the others so that you can respond for all of them. And here we go to report connections. Oh, okay, it's already checked. Yeah, it would be because we copied it from an already known data. Okay, so I'll show something. So when I right click and I go to report connections for the sliders, if you notice, oh, sorry, yeah, let me zoom in. Okay, I right click and I go to report connections. If you notice on the name, you see pivot 1, pivot 2, pivot table 1, pivot table 2, and 3. So if you're working with many tables and you want to connect, sometimes you may not want to connect like everything together. So it's good practice to name your pivot, give your pivot names. Okay. So to do that, you click on the pivot you want to rename and go to pivot table analyze. At the left hand, you would see the pivot table name. So for pivot table one, here we have um, just for this products by quantity ordered. Just gonna put it or product by quantity. Yeah, okay. I come to this other one, pivot table 2, and rename products by sales. That works. For here, I call this top customers, and then if I come back to the slicer and right click and go to report connections, you see here we have the names, pivot table, product by quantity, product. So it gives you some good way to link these tables together. Okay, so let's get more insights because in the end we're going to see how much of this we can put in our dashboard. By way of reminding, a dashboard is some way of representing key data, key insights data, just summarizing, giving key insights, showing visuals of the summary of a whole lot of data sets as required. So what other insights can we get from here? We have the city, the state, the country, and territory, contact names, deal size. Okay, so let's try country. So let's see number of sales in the country. So we go to our pivot table and take away customer name. We put country. Then we see the sales made per country. Um, so from here we can see that the highest sales were made from US. Like I said, we may not need a whole lot of data, so we could do top 10 or top 5. Yeah, let's just work with top 10 since we've been just basically based on requirement. Your boss would require, oh, top 5, top 20, or you could require, I mean, we have bosses here. So we could also have a view for the sales trend per year. So I'm just going to put the year ID and the total sales. I'm not going to sort this. I'll just leave it per year. And so there's a whole lot we can do with pivots. We could see the percentage trend. So let me see if we can add a column to summarize. Okay, I want to get, I'll put the sales 2 times. So like I mentioned, there's something called year on year, month on month in sales. So it's just comparing the current year with the previous year and on to see the trends, the difference, percentage difference or addition and all that. So I put the sales data twice and okay. So there is something called percentage difference from, and here you see base field, year ID, base item, no, right? Okay, let me try this. I don't think this is what. Oh, okay, great. So just to recap that, I right click and go to summarize value, rather show value as percentage difference from. Yeah, and then the only options here are literally year ID and 20. So the base item, that means starting from which year? 2003 and on and on. So I click on OK. So what this shows, if we see this data, I'll change this to percentage year on year. So this is the sales, and then year on year. If we see here, this is 3.5 million made, $3.5 million made in the year 2020, in 2003. In 2004, 4.72 million. Now, This is a 34.32 percentage increase. And then in 2005, there is a decline to 1.79 million. And then that means there's a decline by minus 49.6%. Let me just put this in whole numbers and all. So 2024, 34% increase in sales as compared to 2023. And then 2020, oh, sorry, not 2020, 2005, there is a 49% decline in sales as per when compared to 2004, the previous year. So basically, year on year compares the current year with the previous year and on its stretch. So this could bring about curiosity. Why? Oh, like what really led to what caused the decline in the sales in between okay, what caused decline? Maybe just comparing 2014 and 2015, we could pick a case. Let's say with this product here, I'll just copy this product and the sales and the product sales. Just curiosity to dissect the data, and I paste it. Now we had this sales and this. I'm gonna put the years. I'm taking the years and I'll put it in colons. So I have the visuals as to what happened in, comparing these years together. So I'll use conditional formatting just to look at it. And okay, from here we could see that from here we could see a decline in the sales of classic cars, a drop in the sales from 2003 to 2005. Okay, there was an increase in sales of classic cars in 2004, but then a sharp decline in 2005. What could have happened? This could give room to dig in further into the data sets. We could look at the customers that ordered, we could look at so many things, like the status of the previous orders, blah blah blah. So we want to see the sales that like really impacted the most. So we could say classic cards, which is our highest seller, was a major brought about a major decline in our revenue. This also went, this happened for literally all the products. There was a significant decline in the order. So what would have happened in 2015? I Yeah. So if we do not have the data, it could. I mean, one could look in and see what could have happened. So question open to the house. From the data, can you tell what could have happened? Or this could be an internal problem the company could know, right? So we could ask someone in the company to tell us else. Yeah. But then we noticed a drop in sales for all this. If we if we had the supply data, if we had the data for like the supply to this company or their manufacturing data, we could tell, oh, how much, what was their capacity, how much did they produce, why didn't they sell this quantity. We could also dig in into our top buyers, our top customers, right, for the years and see. Oh, I wish I could just have this handy everywhere. So let me keep this here. Okay. So for the customers, let's see, in 2023, our top customer was this Euro Shopping. 2024, Euro Shopping. Sorry for the 2024 and 2023, like, I mean, 2003, 2004. It's just hard going backwards. Okay, so Euro Channel was the top customer in for the 3 years, and yeah, same with mini gifts. They were our top customers. So while it looks like, of course, for 2004 the sales increased, for 2005 there was a drop, but on an average, Euro shopping was still did well. Yeah, but for these other guys, there was a steep decline. Look at 2004, you have an average of $100,000 on purchases, but going to 2005, I mean, we have a sharp decline by probably 50% or more. So this gives some insight into if we have more information as to why the sales dropped, then would present it. Yeah, so let's see if we can get more insight into that though from this data. So I'm curious to see the status of these items. So let's dig into status. I think I would add, let me copy this and paste here, and I'll go for status and maybe quantity ordered, quantity ordered. I'll sort from largest to lowest and maybe add commas for easier visuals. So we have shipped, cancelled, on hold, resolved, in progress, disputed. So out of 99,000 items, 91 was delivered. Can someone unmute and tell me how we can get the percentage? I want to see the percentage of each of these statuses. Sorry, this is status. Just guide me. I'm just going to do it. Tell me what to do. Anybody, sharp, 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 sharp. Just unmute. Okay, Chibuzo. Chibuzi rather. Thank you. Bring it on. Step by step.
You just
Your background
good
is noisy.
good afternoon, good evening, sir.
Okay. Yeah.
My background. I don't have any noise here. Nobody. I'm just alone.
Okay. It's Venga. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah. Okay, tell me.
Okay. You just drag the sum of quantity ordered to the row again. Hello.
Some of quantity ordered to the row.
Am I right?
I don't know. You're the one. Tell me the
Then
way.
okay, just
So
drag it to the sum again to create
drag.
another column for it.
I'm confused. Drag what to the sum? You told me to drag it to the row. I dragged it to the row, and then oh my
Sorry.
God, what is this?
Oh, sorry. Drag it to the sum. Sorry, sir.
There's nothing like sum. Where is sum,
Undo.
please? Where is sum? Okay,
Values
values.
on
All
the
right.
pivot
All right.
software.
Thank
Yeah.
you. We have to use the right terms for that.
Sorry, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So is
Sorry,
this
sir.
it?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Then
Okay.
click on any of the row. Then
Any of the any of the
right click.
rows? Where? Which of the rows?
No,
Any
on that
row?
order two. Yes,
Order
where
two.
you are on
Okay.
that sum of order two. Yes, just right
Okay.
click.
Okay.
When you right click, you go to show values. Scroll down. Click that button. Then as percentage of grand sum. Just come down. Yeah, number two. Yes, you click on that, sir.
And this is it.
Then you can now arrange it to yes, sir. They arrange it to arrange the decimal places and then change the name again, sir.
Thank you so much. If we're in kindergarten, I would say clap hands for
I
you.
didn't get that, sir.
If we're in kindergarten, I would
And
tell everyone to clap for you. Yes.
they can still
Thank
clap for
you.
me.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, well done. Thank you. Good one. Okay, yeah, so this is it. This is thank you again. Good one. So from here we could see, oh, out of 99 orders placed, 99,000 orders placed, we have 92% of them shipped. Okay, so that's above 90%. That's good. So we had 20,000 cancellations. Now let's see. Now we're trying to dig into this data. I mean, I haven't even done this, so I want to see if we can figure out why there was a drop in sales in 2005. So let me narrow this down to 2003. So in 2003, we had a 98%. As a matter of fact, let me put um, conditional formatting here. Okay. So for 2003, we had a 98% shipping rate, a 2% cancellation rate, and 1% resolution result. Okay, I guess for disputes. 98% is awesome. That means most of the shipments were completed, and that's good stuff. Let's see 2004. 2004, there was a drop. Okay, but then there was an increase in quantity ordered, right? So we had 44,000. That was like over 11K. Um, yeah, over 11K addition to item shipped. Here we had 34,000 ordered. Here we had 46,000 orders placed, and good delivery rates. Cancellation, zero on hold, 3% cancelled, and all. 2005, we had less orders significantly. I mean, the order dropped significantly, right, for the quantity ordered. And then we had like really poor shipping rates quantity shipped. Yeah. So what could have happened? There must have been some internal issues uh, Yeah, I'll guess there must have been something. I don't know. These are just assumptions. Um, yeah, because there was a decrease in demand and all that. So if there were faults, if we're looking at disputes, in the previous years, we didn't have any disputes, right? Or probably having for resolved, that means there were disputes. So let's assume these were resolved disputes 253. All disputes were resolved. In 2005, we had 597 disputes, about 3% of the total revenue. And yeah, we had some number, 9% of the orders on hold, probably due to what could cause supply to be on hold, being out of stock or so on. So these insights would come from within the company, right? And you can get that. We could also see, I think from the data we saw that the items ordered the most were the classic cars, right? So from these products, yeah, from the quantity ordered, we could see the classic cars had the highest demand for the 3 years, followed by the vintage cars, and yep. And these also gave the highest revenues to the company. Okay, yeah, so you could get your slicers for different fields. Let's get another slicer for let's get another slicer for deal size. As a matter of fact, I think the deal size could be a good insight, not for a slicer. Yeah, it could be for a slicer, but I'll just hold on that. I'm still curious to see what I can see. So I'll go for the deal size here and maybe visualize this and just rather add some color here. From here, we could see medium deal sizes generated the highest revenue for the company. Now, I'm curious to know what customers, where we would categorize the customers with the different deal sizes. Okay, so there a slicer can come in, a set slicer for deal size. Okay, so for large, this guy is seeing large, medium, what? So we could see in large, these are our top guys for large deals, deal sizes. Euro shopping channel did like 94K. For medium, they did 580, and for small, second. So there were fewer large deals, right? We could also go further to see which of the products had the large deal. Sorry, I'm jumping around this. Once we put this in a dashboard, of course, it's just filters and everything is static, and we'll get to that shortly. So for the products, for large, okay. If you notice, I'm changing, but it's not affecting these guys here. So this slicer is not connected to the other reports. So I'll just create connections and check all the boxes. It should just. And I have failed to name the other pivots I created. So it's something that one should look out for. Name your pivots so that you can navigate in connections. So for large deals, we had classic cars and vintage cars. Topping for medium. Like these two guys still topped on all levels. Yeah, for small deals, we had. Oh, this makes sense. So our highest sales were on medium and small. So if you look at medium, you see the trucks and buses come up. You see planes for large deals. Yeah, there were fewer planes and trucks and buses, more of motorcycles and all that. So we see the vintage cars, classic cars come up on large deals, fewer planes and trucks and trains. On medium deals, we have more of these, more trains, more ships, more planes, and small. Yes. So let's try out something. Let's see the average cost of each of these items so that this could also give us an insight into why will be medium and small will be more than um, large deals. So I'll copy this here again, products and sales. Now I want to see the average cost of each of these. Now it's in sum of sales. Right now I want to see the average. Here I come and I go to summarize by not sum, but average. Um, so we see that starting from largest to smallest, the classic has, oh, okay, the classic has still top the list. I guess that's why they were topping on all the levels still. Vintage drops down. We have our trucks and buses on the high. We have our motorcycles. So let's try something and add quantity ordered here. Okay. So at 4K average sales, so average sales 4K, that's the average cost of a vintage car. Is it even the average cost of a vintage car? No, because the quantities varied. So if we want to see the average cost, we should actually be using price each. Yes, sorry. So I'm going to change this average of sales to price each, give you the cost of each of the cars, the average cost. So it shows the sum here. I'm going to summarize by average, change this to currency. So average, average of, I'll call this unit cost. It is sort from largest to smallest. And here we see trucks and buses. Trucks and classic cars still topping the charts closely. And sheep coming next. And motorcycles and all that. So if we compare this with the quantity ordered, so I could put two visuals here. We could see classic cars had the highest volume of quantity ordered, and then they top in the average unit cost. So that's why they're some of the biggest sellers. Then we have trucks at 10.7K. Motorcycles came, we have vintage cars too, but then lower cost. Trains had the lowest quantity. I mean, how many trains do you want to have, right? Lowest price. Yeah. So this is typically how to like dig into data. You just need to think of different possible outcomes and all that. Yeah. So any questions so far? I know I was just going on and going on and going on and going on. So let's have some questions or, or anyone confused or does anyone grab any feedback? None. Okay. So let's see how we can make some sense out of this and have a better view for this data. I'm going to add another column and call this sales to dashboard. So typically we could just take away the grid lines, go to view, the view tab, and in the show column you uncheck grid lines and you have a plain screen. Okay, yeah. So I go back to my pivot tables and yeah, so this is products and quantity ordered, right? I just put this as quantity. So in creating a dashboard, that dashboard just gives the key insights to your data and to your viewers. So you don't want to put so much ambiguous stuff. You don't put unnecessary data, well, unless requested for. But yeah, everything. So I'm going to do a chart, a pivot chart here, and okay, just try this out. Um, I usually would not want this product line quantity. So to remove, take them off, you right click and hide all fields. Yeah, the legends are important, so yes, you want to keep them. So I'll just copy. Okay, I could call this product quantity, product product by quantity. What am I typing? Okay. Um. Yeah. Okay. I want to add my data labels and yeah, for pie charts or donut charts, yeah, it's also good practice to put the percentage. I don't even think I want to put the values here. This chart. I could do. Okay. No, no. Very new, no. Oh, okay. I just leave it this way. From the shipments one would know to broaden this and let's change the write-ups to white. Sorry. Okay, so ideally just like put everything in there and arrange them afterwards. I'm sure Kenny does better charts, better dashboards than I do. Um, so we have our top customers here. Yeah, sometimes when you're not sure, you could go to recommended pivots and it will show you, oh no, recommended charts. So once you click on this, there should be recommended, no, none. Okay, fine. So I think for this, a bar chart would be preferred. Yeah, remove these guys. I usually wouldn't want grid lines. Take it off. Um, sales value, data labels, yes, and legends not necessary. As horizontal value is not necessary because we have the amounts. These are our top 10 customers. And their sales value. Um, think it was Believe that showed me that I could actually sort this from the biggest to the smallest from here. Can't remember how he said that. But usually I'll just go to the chart into the pivot table and sort from rather than largest to smallest, from smallest to largest, and it arranges this guy for me. So usually one you could just put all the charts that you want represented in your dashboard first, and in the end you arrange it. So we've got for sales, we've got for top 10 customers. Same thing goes for country. Just leave that for now. Quantity. We did something on percentage. Okay. Status of percent. Okay. Oh, yeah. So this will tell. I'm going to do a pivot chart for this. And there are or two parameters. So I'll do a combo chart. Normally a line graph and a clustered. Oh my goodness. What's this? No. I don't think we captured everything. Okay. So I'll just do this. Um, this should be in secondary. This. Oh yeah. So in the end, this is not even necessary. This for our charts. We may not need this, but let's say a maybe pie chart. No, the column graph could even do the job. Please feel free to suggest a better inside this, inside end. Yeah, guys are really low. So I take off the grid line. I'm just gonna call this status by quantity by status, right? Um, I'll take this off. I'll hide them, and this is not giving me. Yeah, I want you here, and this should make it better sense. Um, just put this here. So we're going to come back to arrange this. So in dashboards, at times you see, oh, okay, I missed a step. I missed a step. Forgive me. Um, under inserts, there is shapes. There's shapes, and you select any of them, rectangle with rounded corners, whatever, and just this helps you put your, just helps you better organize your data, put and the visuals, make them neat. So we're going to put our chart in these boxes. I'll just change the color. You could change it again later. So I can send this to the back. Click on it, right click at the bottom, you see send to the back. Goes to the back, so this can come to the front, data, and okay, the box. So to get the box, you just go to insert, and then shapes, and you select the rectangle or something like a rounded cornered rectangle. That's what I use. So the whole idea is just put things in. I keep this aside. You want to have a picture of what your dashboard would look like, or what you want it to look like. Um, Let me move this aside first. I'll come back to it. Yeah, so let me give a quick example. So I put this here. I come. Let me I should even put a darker color. You could change the color by clicking on it. You'd see a shape format and shape fill to put anything. So I'll just work with this. Copy it, Control C, Control V, Control V again, or maybe another one. And normally what I'll do is I have an idea of how I want my dashboard to be. I'm just copying it and pasting back, depending on the insights I want to get. So I would want to see quantity ordered, I want to see total sales value, and maybe a section for the year, and all that. Okay, so I'll just keep on that. So for the dashboard, this should be oh, so many of them. So this is not like a holistic. Oh, of course, your dashboard should have a title, should have a header, like that. So keeps room for that. happening? Oh, I have to prepare these guys. Okay, I'll just take one of them and paste here, drag it, and the text in the shape you can type into it called the sales dashboard. Bold, you could expand it, centralize it, and all that. Now on the pivot table, okay, it's good to know what you want to put at the different stages. So here, I'd want to put maybe quantity ordered, and under insert, at the right, you'd see something called text box. You click on the text box and you could just spread it out. It's somewhere where you can put a text and quantity ordered. I think it's hiding. If this is done with a text box, I'll just expand it, maybe change the background under shape format. Shape field is what they call on the field. Here it's white. If I put no field, it takes away the field. If I'll change the color, I can change the text color to white and copy this. Yeah, I could also remove the outline, this white lines, but I think I'll just leave it so that I don't give it too much to do. I know I have already, I copy the text box and I put here too, and I'll put amount sold, or rather total sales, and what am I gonna put here? Mm, Yeah, so it could be literally anything, maybe number of countries. So it's just about visualizing, just about presenting the insights you got, your charts and all in a nice way and everything. So I come here, just put text box to them all. So the charts we created that I see somewhere here. So product. I noticed something. I moved this here and it's like behind. I can right click on it and bring to front. So when you bring it to front, it's in front of them all. Because you want your visuals in the front, at the front. As much as possible, I want this to fit in. I'm sure you all agree it doesn't really look nice. So I just tweak around it, maybe move the legend to the bottom so that it's wider. I expanded this, it will give me more, so I may want to expand this. Here, I could change this to product by quantity. Yeah, so with this dashboard header, I don't need the title here, so I'll just take it off chat title. That gives more room for my chat. Now, for the chat, I could click on, I mean, 34% is the highest, which is the vintage cards. So I'm literally just playing around it. I don't want, I want to take off this white background. So I click on it and go to format, shape fill, and go to no fill. So here you see it is here outlined. So this other line here, I don't want it. And I go to no fill to it takes it away. But then this blue color is not the best, too deep for me. So maybe I try something. Okay, something darker. Some people, those who are like really good with colors would thrive in this. I have a bad eye for colors. This seems to work better for me right now. I could also I could also increase the transparency. Let me try 50%. Okay. I don't want to dwell much on this. Actually, today is not a exactly dashboard day. We are going to have to do that like in depth in the next two classes. But I would also want us to look into at least one other data set outside sales. We've been in sales all this while, and I'd like us to look into the others. So there's a whole lot in the preparation. There is a whole lot one can do in preparing data set like this. My pie or donut graph looks really ugly right now. I can't overlook. Right, so I'll just try to overlook. So for this, the same, I'll take off the, okay, put the header into V and top 10 customers. The next class, I'll show us how to, I don't want to bombard us today. Convert when you have like long values like this, how to convert it to like the first of thousands, like the first is 912,000, just be 912K. We'll see how we can do that. next class so that we have more presentable dashboards. I believe these are basically examples that we could just. So here under format, you no field. I could come to design shape, try some other colors, like charts. I'm sure you'd all believe now when I tell you I'm terrible with colors. And yeah, we don't need the chat style, no field. And there we have it. Status. Just call this status. So one of the things I'm going to also do is to recommend some online, some links, give some links for further learning on, right, you could practice. I literally do not like this outline right now, but okay, nothing. Yeah, I think it looks better without the outlines. Okay, yeah, so dashboards will come up with a whole lot of things, but a dashboard would help you just like summarize the data. For the quantity ordered, um, I, 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 I fear I don't want to confuse, but okay, for these ones, I'll just copy these two charts, the sales and the quantity ordered, place them here. I'm going to take off the, no, 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 no. I'm going to take off the product line and leave just quantity, and I'll take off product line for this and leave just sales. Okay, let me just take questions before I enter has the question. How did you place the chart inside the shape? Did you use a text box? No, I just moved the charts to the shapes. Like I just moved them and placed on top of the shape. The text box, I used the text box for just the titles. Yes, please, please. You can talk to me later. Please, questions, any questions?
Okay, like when I try to move it, but it's like under the shapes.
Okay, okay.
Do you
So
get? It's not on top of it.
yeah, so right click on the chart. Can you hear me? Right click on the chart and then
Yes.
at the lower part of the options, you right click on you'll see something like bring to front, send to back. So click on bring to front.
Bring to front. Okay.
Yeah, and click
Thank
on
you.
to front. Yeah. Has it worked?
Yeah.
All right.
Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. So I have total quantity here. I have total sales here. For this quantity ordered, I click on the shape. I want to put the quantity ordered here, like based on this total quantity ordered and sum of sales. Now I come here, click on the shape for quantity ordered, and I go to the formula bar and I put equal to, I go to the sales pivot and I click on where I have this and I think that doesn't work. Am I mixing things up? Oh, sorry, 1 second. Let me get this. This formula is missing a range or a defined name. Um, the sales pivot data just oh. Okay, so equal to this, and this is U17. I think I just put U17. Let's see if that works. There it is. Bold, white, and I zoom in and I centralize, maybe bring it down. I bring back my quantity ordered. For total sales, same thing equal to this. This is W17. So I'll just type W17 and click the enter button. There it is there in black, bold, white. Zoom in, bring it down, centralize. There we have the total sales. Number of countries. I would create another pivot for that. Maybe I'll just copy this. Put here for these countries and change this to just put country. What's happening? Okay. Control Z, Control Z. We'll copy this and paste in a different. And country, country. So this is the count of countries. Uh, So there'll be duplicates here. I really do not want to confused for that, so I'll keep out this country. I'll show, I'm taking note of this. I'm going to show distinct counts, how to do distinct counts data modeling in pivots. So I'll keep these countries aside, or for just the purpose of this class, let's say I'll just put a figure for countries, just like it fills up. But tomorrow I'll show, oh, sorry, what am I saying? Next class I'm going to show more values. So this is S17. So equal to, on the chart for countries, equal to sales data pivot explanation S17, and that gives us the pivots. So lastly for this, I would add slicers. The slicers. So our slicers are somewhere here. Remember our slicers I used to like get the summary of the data. So I'll just copy this and then large just for reference purposes. Go to the dashboard and Control V. I'll test them here. To change the way sliders are viewed, you could change their aesthetics. Oh yes, let's put them in a shape too, just so that they look nice. I'm going to bring this to the front. Right click, bring to the front. And under sliders at the top, you could change the features. Maybe something that is closer to the dashboard. I know a lot of us are confused right now, but don't be confused. When we visit the data, we're going to take our time and do this. We'll do this for the next two classes progressively anyway. Or this is just a simple overview. We'll do something more complex by Thursday. Or so we could change this to, okay, I think here that was you 13. Yes, so I just copy the formats for this. So whatever is here, yeah, there's a comma here and it's more presentable. So if we click on 20, the sheets are all linked to the slicers. So for 2003, we have an overview of the orders, the summary, total sales, quantity, the top 10 customers, the amounts, the top sellers, the status by quantity or quantity by status, 2004, and all these. And this is what we call an interactive dashboard. It gives real-time insights. It gives you rather dynamic insights, different views at the same time. to whatever you're doing. Okay. Any questions so far? Okay. I'll ask questions. How many of you are not confused? Say hi on the sheet. Okay. 20 questions, Mr. Chibueze. Noted. Okay. Okay. So the hi, oh, hi was for those that are not confused, right? Okay. For the woe are for the people that are not confused. Okay, that's nice. I mean, okay, yes, Mr. Chibueze will do this again. Yes. Okay. So please, the for questions. So let me take some questions, please. We have many highs. We have high data analysts in here and so on. So we started by looking at, just to take us back in context, looking at the data sets and seeing how we could not just create pivots, but deep dive into the data to make sense out of certain problems. Yeah, again, apologies for the disorganization of this here and there. We try to see why sales dropped at the year 2024, 2004. Oh, okay. And then we try to see how we could put them in dashboards. Okay, yes, I would call this a dummy dashboard. This is like just one. Kenny will do better than this. She's probably laughing at me at the background right now, but it's fine. Also pointed out that whatever you're putting in your dashboard, it's not in the multitude of what you put, but in the insights that are important, or and then the insights that are important, yes, that would make sense, or those required by your stakeholders who you those you're working for or yourself here and make out. Okay, so questions please. Okay, yes, I understand that today was less of a hands-on. Yeah. So you just look into this, try this out as best as you can, or as simply as this. Try it out, and we'll get more complex in the next class. You could ask questions before the next class, or you bring them up to the next class. And all. Yes, Namdi, Kimberly, you gotta try it out and let us know. Share with you too. Yes, please, Yinka. I love questions.
Okay, so is it the slicer that enabled us to get the quantity ordered, the total sales, and the country, or
That's
something you did?
that's to get them here
Yes, like
on the
how
dashboard.
did you get the total quantity order, the total sales, and the countries? Is
Okay.
it from the slicers?
No, the sliders just filter. All right.
Okay,
Yeah. So I got this from the pivot table. So we had this sheet for pivot tables, right, where we did all pivoting. Yeah.
okay,
So um, if you notice, I just took. If we look at the fields here, I just did a count of for this pivot. I just did a count of country. For these other pivots, this is actually a pivot. For this other pivot, I just put the quantity. So when you do not put what do you call it? other parameters in the role, like product line and all that. Yeah.
Okay,
Once
so
you just put the
a
quantity, it
pivot
just shows only
table.
the quantity. It just shows
Okay,
the total, the sum or summary of whatever you want to put. For sales,
okay. So
sum
it's
of
from
sales.
this table.
Yes, it's from this table. So I made like a single pivot table for each of them separate. I just had the
Okay,
sum of the values. Right, yes. So these are all connected to these slicers. So here's the trick. Let me bring these slicers here. Not exactly today. Here's how it happens. Now these slicers, they are all connected. They are still connected to this sheet, to these pivots report. So once you click on it for 2003, it gives the total quantity, total count
just
of countries, yes, for them all. Right. So
thank you.
yeah, do you get? Yeah, so you could try it out. Okay, yes. So that's how we got it. But now, how did I link it to the dashboard? After I put it here, I took note of the cell it was in. Here is S17, right? Here U17 and W17. Okay. Now, on the dashboard, on the shapes I created for them, I just click on the shape and I in the formula bar I do an equal to. So here it is, equal to the name of the sheet you're getting data from, and then this and then an exclamation mark and the cell. So here it's equal to sales underscore data underscore pivots. That's the name of this sheet with an exclamation mark. Exclamation mark shows that this is the sheet. And then the U17, U17 that I put here. So that brings this data here. You see, we're working it. So literally, what I did was name of the sheets that I was copying. I wanted to get it done. Name of the sheet, exclamation, name of the cell, right? So sales, so equal to sales data pivot exclamation quantity, sorry, exclamation U17. That gives me quantity here. Here it's same thing, but W17 because W17 is where we have the sales, sum of total, sum of sales. And then for countries, S17 because in this our data, S17 is where we have the total number of countries, count of countries. Yes. But next class I'll show you what something called distinct counts. Yes, distinct counts. Here we have count of countries. This is not counting the unique number of countries. Okay, it's not counting them in unique. If we want to confirm that, I can create another pivot. So we see the actual number of countries. Just copy this and put here. Once again, forgive for being so scattered, disorganized today. I'll put country here. And once you put country on the rows, it counts in unique. And then I'll just put it here again. So you see, Australia appears 185 times and so on. So that's what adds it up to 228, 23. Yes, so, and this is based on the number of orders placed per country, US having the highest number of orders, followed by Spain and France. Right. So This number of countries here is not the actual number of countries. The actual number of countries would be the count of this injury. That's 19 countries. So in the end, 19 countries. Yes. So I'm going to show us use how to apply something called distinct counts when we're creating pivots. So with distinct counts, there's an option, not just counts, but then distinct counts. So it counts unique values in that case. But not to worry about it. By next class, you would understand. Okay, people, any other questions? No other questions? Okay, so I think it's a good place to call it a night. Welcome to Dashboards for Data Insights. Yinka, your hand is still up. Is that deliberate or not? Okay, it's not. All right, people, have a good night rest. Well done. Well done. Yeah. Sorry, before you go, please try your hands on. Just try your hands on the US voters and the San Francisco salaries. Let's see what you can get from it. Okay? Let's see what you can pivot and then charts. Just try it out. Like, just look at it. Okay? So Kenny, please, you can help mention. Thank you, everybody. Good night. Take care.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you too.